Okay guys, it's CtK back with another episode of my Super Robot Taisen Original Generation series with commentary. So we're going to go ahead in this episode start with the first level of Kyosuke's route. So yes, I will choose this character. Okay, so this opening scene is actually going to be the same as Ryosuke's, but the level will be completely different. So just bear through this opening scene. I'm going to skip through it as fast as possible, and we'll go ahead and start the real thing. Okay, nearly 2 centuries ago, the human race advanced into space, ushering in the dawn of a new era, the space era. Due to the devastation and turmoil caused by the meteors that struck Earth in the earliest years of the 21st century, human life changed a little over time. In 179 SC, a third meteor, Meteor 3, struck the Earth near the Marquesas Islands in the South Pacific. A research team dispatched by the Earth Federal Government EFG discovered the Meteor 3 consisted of substances containing technology previously unknown to man. They called this new technology Extra Over Technology, EOT. Further analysis were conducted by the EOT Investigative Committee, EOTI, under the strict supervision of the EOT Council. Upon conclusion of the investigation, Dr. Beyond Zoldark, the head of the EOTI, reported to the EFG and Earth Federation Army that an invasion by extraterrestrial beings was highly probable. The EFG took the warning seriously, and the development of personal troopers humanoid mobile units began. And I can breathe. So yeah, that just shows you what I was talking about as far as dialogue goes. And we will go into Kyosuke's level. Okay, so pretty much Hans is the big man, the big boss, and Kyosuke is under him. And they're doing a test exercise with the Wild Roboter, which is a new unit that can transform. They're just testing it out, and the guys, Hans is like, "Oh, the live fire? No, this is just these are just paint rounds. You don't have to worry about anything." And he's like, "Well, that's not my only concern." And he's like, "Are you trying to just disobey my order?" "No, I would risk my lives for your orders, but I'll have trouble evading from enemy fire, and we won't get reliable data from the mech." And he just talks about that's how they lost the Against Best Mark II because of unnecessary testing. And they're like, "Oh," and Hans is like, "Well, we want to improve this mech. Don't you have any guts?" And Kyosuke is like, "Well, it's urgent that we develop powerful airborne PTs, but..." And then Hans is pretty much now report to the test area, and Kyosuke is like, "Roger that." Then after Kyosuke leaves, we find out that Hans actually just wants him to get rid of him, and so he has a little plan under the scenes. So episode 1, Broken Wings. Okay, so the Wild Arbiter is airborne, and we're targeting these drones, 2 tank drones and 2 airplane drones. And I guess is Kyosuke's friend. And yes sir, good, I'll collect the data now. I guess he's the data recorder. "Thank you, Lieutenant The Wild Arbiter is the first variable PT. Treat her well. We don't want her to get wrecked while the commander is away." Roger that. So Hans is actually isn't the real commander. He's just, acting as commander as the other one's away, and he just really wants to get rid of Kyosuke for whatever reason. So we're going to look at the mission objectives, and pretty simple. We have to kill all 4 of them within 2 turns. So I'm going to go ahead and do Spirit. I'm going to Excel. And then I'm going to go ahead and Focus, which will raise my hit and evade rates by 30% for 1 turn. So, and we're going to go ahead and move all the way up here. Now I have a couple different weapons, but the only one that I have in range right now after moving is some weapons you can use after moving, some you can't. This one is the only one that I can use after moving, but it consumes my energy, which we will get into later. But I'll go ahead and use the beam cannon. I'll use it against this tank. So beam cannon, so if you see HP, which is, the health points of the mobile suit, then EN is the energy, so you don't, after you use up all your energy, pretty much you can't use the energy-based attacks anymore. And while other attacks are usually ammo-based. So it's hard to balance. Is it because the moon has less gravitational pull? Oh well, let's do this. So apparently Kyosuke is more used to working in space or on the moon. How about a bet? Odds are you're going down. So Kyosuke is also a badass, apparently. And tank's going to fire at me, but since I increased my evasion, it shouldn't hit me whatsoever. So I got 13 experience, because Kyosuke's... And then Kyosuke learns that there's live ammo in it, so he's trying to contact Colonel Hans, and the crew's like, you have an emergency call. He's like, screw that, I don't care. And Erm's like, hey, I wasn't aware the drones were loaded with live rounds. And Hans was like, should I tell you everything? Erm's like, you bastard, because he knows he wants to get rid of Kyosuke. And Kyosuke is like, he doesn't know what's going on because he can't contact the base because they're not accepting his call. So he's like, I'm going to survive no matter what. So we're going to go ahead. Oh yeah, Kyosuke's getting so much experience because he's only at level 4. So we're going to go ahead and end the phase. And the tank's going to attack me. I'm just going to use the AA missile. And the great thing about this game is it usually picks what the best weapon for the situation is going to be. The AA missile should go ahead and destroy the tank, just because it barely has any HP left. So the tank's going to attack me. I dodge. I can dodge if necessary. You're closer than you think. And then the tank is going to die. So awesome. So 136 experience, which is nice. And then the other tank's going to attack me, and I'm just going to use the AG missile. Anti-ground missile, if you guys were wondering, and the AA is anti-air missile. Kind of self-explanatory. Take this is my trump card. Bam. Good amount of health. Okay, so this plane's going to use the beam cannon, or I'm going to use the beam cannon against this homing missile. So let's see what happens here. Again, the first levels are going to be pretty easy, just because they're more tutorial levels than anything. And yeah, should be very simple. It'll get harder when we have like bosses to fight and stuff, and other PTs. Not just planes and tanks. So out of the two main characters, Kyosuke is actually definitely my favorite. I'll go into it more later because I don't want to ruin anything, but it'll just become evident that I like Kyosuke a lot more than Ryusei. Okay. So the planes are down, and I am at turn 2 now. So I don't have 30 energy anymore to go ahead and hit him. I only have 25, so there's no point into getting, let's see. What was I going to say? Oh, there's no point into getting in range to, attack him. I kind of want to see if I can use the aerial bomb, though, after moving. And I can. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, but first I want to use my spirit and focus just in case. And I will go ahead and attack with an aerial bomb. You're mine! And that should kill the tank, yep. And there we go. There we have it, guys. I destroyed all the units within 2 turns. And I actually leveled up too. And he has a new skill, and my battle mastery was earned. So there we go. Okay. So Hans is like, it's time, because he wants to put his plan in motion. Okay, now he wants to be in the emergency variable testing. And Erm's like, what? No, we can't do that. And Kyosuke's like, why were they loaded with live ammo? And Hans interrupts him. He's like, hey, shut the hell up. You do what I say. And he's like, fine, let's do it. That bastard set me up. So Kyosuke finally figures it out. I have no choice now but to play his game. Kyosuke, abort the mission, return to base. And Hans is like, no, you're exceeding your authority. And Erm's like, I don't give a shit. And he's like, well, watch yourself. And Kyosuke's like, whatever happens, happens. So he transforms in the middle of the water. And he did transform, but wouldn't finish transforming, so it blew up. And it went down into the ocean. So Hans like, oh, well, he's just keeping up his front. He's like, oh, we lost a fine pilot. Mountain Industries is to blame. And we'll send that unit back to the moon and tell your partner Ring that it was all Mountain Industries' fault, even though it was Hans's fault. And Irm's like, bastard, and then the girl's like, hey, Hans, pilot's still alive. He's like, what, he survived that explosion? And Irm's like, Kyosuke, do you copy? Ugh. And Hans like, the devil's luck. But pretty much Kyosuke, he's going to try to get rid of Kyosuke from here anyways. He'll probably make some bullshit up that it was Kyosuke's fault, like, you know, not listening to his orders or whatever. And Kyosuke's like, well, I broke some ribs, but I managed to survive again, which makes me believe that he's just a really lucky person that survived over and over again. But yeah, so that was Kyosuke's route. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, we'll go ahead and do the next episode next time. Alright, peace out, guys.